Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And in this lesson, I want to speak on a couple of things, not all entirely connected, but just a few different talking points that I came across today. The first one of them being, I was having a conversation with my brother, and he was mentioning, he texted me, he was like, yo, the GW bridge might be next, after this whole Baltimore bridge collapse situation. And then he did a video on this, so Lord, I'm gonna check that out. But pretty much, then the elder put in our group chat a video that somebody recorded saying the George Washington Bridge is falling apart, and in the video you see pretty much like a bottom piece. If I can find it, I'll see if I can play it in this video. But you can see under the bridge, okay, a part of it looks like it's actually breaking off, okay, which shows instability. All right, so as we know the trend to be, one thing happens, and all of a sudden, all these other situations that are similar to it just start happening. Like you look at any trend that goes on. There was a period in time when there was this it was just like mass shootings, and then another period of time when it was just like Asian hate crimes and attacks, and it was just like all of a sudden it just flared up and just started going, and it usually it takes happens one place, and then next thing you know, oh, another one here, oh, another one here, oh, another one here, so. I mean, let's see. All right, we'll watch and see what happens there. But that's one thing. Now, another thing was there's this situation with, I think they said there was this NYPD officer who was slain just recently. Okay, and I was mentioning that in a video. I don't even remember which video this was, but probably a couple of days ago, as to how. Maybe it might have been the one called "The Cops Ain't Coming," but as to how you have the reduction of officers in the force because it's not really appealing as it used to be a police, because remember that these people are still humans. So they still, when they wake up and they put their uniform on and they go out there, and they watch the news, or their families telling them like, yo, be careful out there because, it's getting wild. And then you hear of situations like this where it's like somebody just offed a police officer, and they're like, yo, this shit, it's dangerous out here in itself. But there's also almost like a target on the backs of police because people don't really like them, And so, with that situation going on, it's now become a thing where it's like, yo, as a police officer, I mean, or even looking at it, you might not want to join the force, and even if you win there, you might want to retire early. All right. Now, I was reading this article just now, which I find also very interesting here, where apparently now they're suspecting that this knockout game, thing is back. But in this case, it's really just been a series of women that have been getting punched, mainly in the face, by strangers. And where else other than New York City? Okay, so I'm going to read the headline from ZeroHedge.com. It says here, return of the knockout game. Women punched by, quote, strangers in New York City. And then, and as we read through the accounts of the different women that, that claim that they were punched or attacked, at no point do you hear any of them fighting back. Now, you could argue that, hey, you got punched in the face, and they trying to trying to adjust and realize what just happened. They're trying to process it. Okay, but ultimately, in a situation where, and if an attacker punches you in the face and he's standing there and he's getting ready to punch some more, you you're as a woman, naturally your instinct isn't going to be your mindset is going to be I'm trying to get away, I'm trying to escape. Okay, as a man, you're going to defend yourself, because then you have that adrenaline, you have the testosterone and the adrenaline that starts to pump throughout your body. Okay, and you're like, yo, you got to defend yourself. But the point here is, as things get worse and more dire, it's going to draw out the natural order of things, the natural order of society, the natural order of creation, which is what the Most High said it to be. Because right now, man's laws and order that they've tried to institute, especially here in America, goes against those of the Heavenly Father. But the thing about it is, your laws are, they're going to crumble with your society. The laws of nature always remain. Okay, the law of gravity or physics, for example, does not cease to exist because your empire went down. They always remain. Same with the law of nature. The Most High has said, by nature, the woman is the weaker vessel. Okay, the man is the protector. But man's laws say otherwise. So it's going to be put to the test when all hell starts breaking loose. And guess what? Everybody's going to go back to their natural state, because that's what it all comes down to. Okay, you may behave a certain way because of circumstance or situations, but when it comes down to the bare metal, what you're going to revert back to is your natural instinct. Okay, so let's read a little bit here. The New York Post is speculating that the infamous, quote, knockout game could have made a return after numerous women reported being punched in the head by strangers in New York City. Over the course of the last 2 weeks, multiple women have released viral TikTok videos explaining how they were taken by surprise and assaulted on the street. You guys, I was literally just walking and a man came up and punched me in the face. Haley Kate, an influencer who has 1.1 million followers on TikTok, told her fans. And that's the thing. The whole TikTok, social media, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. That doesn't make you invincible. At the end of the day, that's a concept that exists in the digital world. That's a concept that exists on social media. If I see you in person, I've never seen. I don't have a social media account, for example. I'm not. You look like a regular person to me. Okay, that pseudo fame and vainglory comes from social media. You're really only somebody when it's on that platform, when somebody's looking at it through a phone or something. But in real life, you're just another individual. So guess what? In a situation like this, the most they could do is go and do a video about it on TikTok. But in the actual heat of the moment, what could you actually do? And it doesn't, for some people, for a lot of people, it isn't until they're in that situation before reality hits them. Reality knocks on the door loud enough to where they can actually hear it and realize something, which is, one, how dangerous things are getting. Maybe they've just been brushing that to a side, like, yeah, whatever. But now, having gone through an experience like this, it's like, oh, shit. Like, now they have the mindset of, if this happened to me out of nowhere, that means it's a thing that can actually happen. How are you going to protect yourself? Ultimately, that's what it comes down to, right? How are you going to protect yourself? Because clearly it's not going to be by fighting back. And so what's the go-to? Oh, pepper spray or taser or, that's what they say. But what about your fists? Because once again, according to nature, that's just not the way the Lord set things up to be. So the point that I'm making here is, following this false narrative of America, which emboldens people, particularly women, to behave as though they can actually, physically, do something to back up whatever proud talk that they may say. When reality hits, that all goes out the window. And I've said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it because it's the truth. You're better off using your mind, your brains, okay, than trying to use your mouth to speak proudly. Because here's an example. There was a video that I saw. It was a little girl, and she realized she was being followed by this I guess this creep or this adult guy. And so she walks into this building, and then like she obviously noticed that he's been following her for a while. So she walks into this building, and then immediately he walks in right after her. But what she did was, like, instead of trying to run out in the open because she knew he was faster than her, she walked into the building and immediately entered like opened another door inside of that building and hid. And so this guy basically comes up in there. He's looking. Shit, he can't find her. So he goes further into the building, going up the stairs, seeing if she was there, and then she sneaks out and then she dips. You see, she was smart enough to realize, hold on a second. One, I'm a little girl. All right. But two, I can't outrun this guy. I can't fight him. Right now, this is probably an environment where this would be disadvantageous to me. So what's my best option here? Well, I can try to outsmart him because he's probably going to be relying on his strength or brute force. But guess what? Wisdom beats that any day because you can win a fight without even throwing a punch. So that's what she used, her wisdom, and she was able to escape that way. And that's the thing. America does not breed, wisdom. Let me put it like that. So what happens is, what it does is it cultivates pride, it cultivates arrogancy, it cultivates ignorance instead of wisdom, humility, and prudence. So what happens is, in these fight or flight situations, in these dire situations, people don't know how to apply wisdom because their society has been cultivating their arrogancy and their pride. So what's going to happen? They're going to get proud in that situation. They're going to speak all with arrogancy until they get punched in the face. Now, hey, those in this article, it could have been just somebody going about their merry own way, and then they just happen to be a victim. But there's a lot of people out there, and you can smell the arrogancy in a lot of people today. Why? Because of social media. Oh, I got this many followers here or this many followers here. All of a sudden, that made you what? A superstar? You still eat shit and sleep like everybody else. If somebody attacked you, what are you gonna do? And that's what people are finding out in today's day, that there's a lot of things that are out of your control. You need to start wising up, okay? Because your mouth will not save you. And when the Lord sends out death angels, listen, as a last resort, what you'll see is, and I can give two accounts of this, right? But from what I've seen, what you'll see is a woman might realize, okay, she's in danger now. So what she's gonna, if her attacker is a man, she's gonna think, okay, well, what can you do? What is valuable about you that you can use to bargain? Now, the first example is in the movie, the Belko Experiment. And in the Belko Experiment, as things started to get serious, if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend going and watching it. But basically, these employees, they go to the office, and then one day they realize later on that they're part of an experiment. But before realizing that, the office building locks down. They're all trapped inside, and they just hear the voice on the intercom saying they got to kill everybody. Basically, they got to. It starts off saying you must kill, like, for example, 5 people within the next hour, or else we're gonna kill 6 or something like that. And when they refuse to do it and they start seeing people's bodies drop, then they realize shit got real. So eventually they started killing each other. The point that I'm making is there was a scene in particular where this woman who she basically talked shit about this, I guess it was a manager or whatever. And when it came down to the point where he has a gun, he's going around trying to off some people, he comes across her, and in her mind, she's like, oh, shit. I ain't never given this guy a play. I always talk shit about him. But now he's in a position of power. I'm at his mercy. So what did she try to do? She basically started unbuttoning her shirt, trying to seduce him. Because she knows that that's something that, you know, she can do. That's she wasn't cracking her knuckles, getting ready to get into a boxing stance, southpaw, to knock his ass out. No, she thought, well, I can't talk him, you know, I can't deceive him right now, but I can try to seduce him. You see? And the second example was in I think it was in the TV show Black Summer, or probably a different show. But basically, once again, as these infected people are going around, you know, killing people and stuff, people are desperate. So you have a few people that are in a car, and as they're moving the car, this guy and his girl run up to the car saying, basically, open the door, let us in, let us in. You know, the zombies are out here. And the girl opens her mouth and says she'll basically blow the guy's rod if he just lets them in. So basically, what is it that they're trying to use to bargain here when they realize they have nothing else? Their body, because they're saying, well, that's maybe I can get to him that way. But it's not their hands, it's not their feet, you know, it's not like their superpowers. They don't have any of that. See, so the point that's being made here is these examples should tell you, look, you're living in a world where shit ain't all, you know, fun and games like it was years ago. You know, people are not going to kiss up to you. Oh, and going back to the reason I brought this up, which is there are some men who are not going to care about that. Okay, when the Lord sends out that spirit of death and he puts that spirit upon certain individuals and they come to find you and execute you, they're not going to care about sex. They're not going to care about your body. Their job is they're going to be like under a trance. Their job is to put you out. So whatever you do, and that's when you're going to be even more terrified, because you're hoping, look, you don't want to do this, but you're willing to do it to survive. But you realize this person doesn't want any parts of that. Like, he just wants to take you out. And at that point, you realize you have zero hope, and now you're in some serious trouble. So the time is short, and it's getting shorter by the day as you're seeing these events. They're culminating more and more and more. Let's say the GW Bridge collapses. Now people are going to start, they're really going to start bugging out. You know, like, yo, what the hell is going on? So this place is crumbling, and you know, you need to get on the ark, okay, spiritually. Meaning you need to turn back and repent and seek the protection of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because if not, you're going to find out the hard way. So let me read a little bit more. It says, oh my God, it was so bad, I can't even talk. She added, Michaela Toninato told a similar story of how she just got punched in the face walking home. And what could she do about it? Nothing, except go and put it up and tell a story about it. And what happens if the internet is down? What happens if there's no electricity? You just got socked in the face, and you got to sit there and just take that. Face bruised and everything. I was literally like leaving class. I turned the corner and I was looking down, and I was looking at my phone and like texting. And then out of nowhere, this man just came up and hit me in the face. Hey, that's another thing. You got to be circumspect. People are crazy nowadays. You got to like watch out. Keep an eye out, or somebody's going to take it out. Today, everybody, they got their head, when you're driving, head down, walking, head down. Every day, their heads are down on their phones. And it's not even for like a split second. It's just like constantly crossing the street, your head is down. Let me, a couple of precepts that came to mind. First one being Micah 7:10. And as it reads, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. So guess what? All those women that talk so proudly, wanted nothing to do with the Lord, nothing to do with the scriptures, none of that. When your judgment comes, guess what? We're going to behold, okay, that judgment upon you. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets, like mud in the streets. That's pretty much the position you're going to be in. Getting stomped out, hurt, beat. And you know what? Women haven't experienced something like that. You know, not in a long time, especially not Babylonian women, because except for extreme cases, that's very, you know, Like a dude even, I don't know, pinches a girl and it's a big deal. So it's almost like a edge case, an extreme case where somebody just goes haywire on a chick. But guess what? In that time, it's going to be commonplace. Because some of you are just plain annoying, But yeah, it's going to be commonplace. So humble down, seek the right protection, because if not, you're going to be out there. You're going to be caught out there. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Now, here's the thing. A lot of women today, that the new thing is OnlyFans. You got just regular, like these, there's some regular chicks that normally you wouldn't, they just look like a regular chick you probably went to school with. And now they got 3.2 million followers because they got OnlyFans. Guess what? That's 3.2 million people that know what you look like. Not just your face. They know what your body looks like. Then maybe half of them or a little over are lusting after you. So it's cute and funny when they leave these comments on your page or under your picture or under your video as you're posting these erotic things, until real life hits where they're like, because do you think they just leave comments just because? Do you think, given the opportunity, these people that leave these extreme comments on your comment section would just let you pass? If they knew there was no consequences and they could just take you, do you think that these people would just sit there and twiddle their thumbs? Of course not. So what happens when your face is out there, your body is out there, they know what you look like, they know what you got, and they want what you got, and now they can come get what you got. They know where you live, they know what you look like, they know what car you drive, if cars are even going to be working. And now you got maybe 1 million people or 100,000 people or people in your whole neighborhood that know. They're going to come pay you a visit. Now you just put a big ass target on your back. And believe they're not coming there because they want to play Uno, So, as it says, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. You see, careless. You don't think of consequences. You don't think of what's going to happen at the end. It's just the here and now. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Now, here's the key part that I'm looking for. Tremble, 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 ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Now, I'm going to stop right there because the point that I'm looking for is just made. But as the scriptures are telling you, tremble. Because right now you're at ease, but that's going to come back and it's not going to be good for you. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kudash. And until next time, Shalom.